Hello and welcome to the channel. So I've been seeing a lot of posts out there, people asking, is there still time to play the story in Nier Reincarnation? And the answer is yes, there is. We have almost 3 months, and that's plenty of time to clear the story. And not only that, but we're getting tons of freebies and handouts and login rewards. And of course, I've covered this in my roadmap EOS video. But at the moment, we have so many opportunities to summon good units. We have 2 different free 10 draws. This one is like more a normal pool. This one is like a rotating schedule of limited units. But we just got these 3 crazy banners with stupidly high rates, and they're chock full of top tier units as recent as just now December. Some of these Christmas units, they're all in here. So they're going to be dropping like crazy with a 10% drop rate. And the pity is only 50 shards, which it's usually 200, or 150, depending, sometimes 100, but 50 is a really good deal. And you can come through here, pick your favorites, enjoy the game while it's still here. And this will set you up to easily clear the story content, but also kind of like dive into the content of the game beyond that. Most of it is PvE. There's some PvP. For example, here I have the most recent event we have. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Now on the channel here, I've mostly talked about meta, covering new banners, doing gameplay and some guides. And the one thing I haven't talked about much is story and lore, but there's another YouTuber who covers this game, and he kind of talks about everything and has talked about lore a lot. So I know you're interested in this game for the story, so why don't we get Ziggy1x on the line? Let's phone a friend. I swear that was really the phone ringing. Ziggy!
Hey, what's up? Welcome to my madhouse.
All right, what's going on, Ziggy? Hey, by the way, congrats on 1,000 subs.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, so...
Cheers to that.
Yep. So I know that you've played at least Automata and, have dived into the other, games in the Nier franchise. Can you talk about that, and how did that get you into starting, get you interested in Reincarnation?
Oh boy. Okay. So picked up Automata in 2018. Busy period in my life. But I was able to get a PS4 to play Automata. And but that's the only Nier game that I had actually played before playing Reincarnation.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I started playing Reincarnation that I actually started going back and looking into, because I just wasn't really aware that they existed. So I started going back and looking into Replicant and Drakengard and a couple others. But because of just how busy my life was at the time, I was not able to pick up a mainline console game and play it anymore. So I went to YouTube, and I went to wikis, and I went to fan theories and lores and all these other things to kind of just bridge those gaps that I was missing. But that all started with Reincarnation for me, because initially jumping into the game, it piqued my interest because it stretches beyond Automata. And I mean, for those of you playing Reincarnation, you're seeing how it's basically tying everything together. It's really impressive, actually.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to ask you, is like, without any major spoilers, what can you say about how the Nier Reincarnation storyline ties in with the mainline lore? Any other thoughts on that? Or anything that you can share that might get people interested? Nier fans out there?
Basically an elevator pitch?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, so those of you familiar with Replicant and Automata, it's basically been humanity's decline, starting with Replicant, Project Gestalt, and then moving into Automata, where we find out certain things about humanity that are very inconvenient and unfortunate for humanity. For those of you who haven't played, I won't spoil all the details for you. But the gist of why I would say Reincarnation is such an important game is, first of all, probably the most important part, is that Yoko Taro himself said that this was a sequel to Automata. So that's just right there. That shines a light on the importance of this title. The next thing is that when we were given the original promotional material for Reincarnation, the line was "All dreams lead to the cage." Now, none of us at the time really understood what that meant. But as we have moved further and further into the story, we start to realize just how significant that single line is from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to paint this picture for you here. Give me a moment to yammer. I don't want to cut too much into your time here, but I want to paint this picture for you here. And again, the people who understand the mainline titles will know that humanity has been in decline since the events of Tokyo and Drakengard 1, where the white chlorination syndrome kind of kicks into play. Here's where things go badly for humanity. Project Gestalt fails. And that was seen as the humanity's salvation. Now I'm using that word very deliberately, because when we tie into Reincarnation, we are given evidences that there was not, and by the way, this is in Automata as well, but just like any other Yoko Taro title, you kind of have to peel back those layers because everything's not at face value. So we're given evidences that there's more to the story of humanity than just dying off. But what is that story? And that is the story of Reincarnation, because the story so far has been humanity's decline. Humanity has been on the withdrawal and losing and losing and losing to any number of hostile forces. But for the first time, starting with Reincarnation, we're seeing a retaliation, humanity coming back. And as its namesake would imply, reincarnation. And this is the story of the counterstroke of humanity, essentially, against the forces that would see it destroyed. And there is symbolism, and Yoko Taro's a fan of, I think he's come out very obviously and said that he's a fan of Evangelion. There's a lot of old Jewish symbolism in Evangelion, and he picked up on some things that I won't spoil per se in the story of Reincarnation, but Reincarnation is the story of something presumed dead returning, and by extension becoming the salvation of humanity, which I find really interesting. But there is always a price that must be paid. And so this is one of those kinds of things that if that got your nerd neurons tingling a little bit with just tying in the Evangelion vibes, talking about how Yoko Taro loves to play into these things, these different mythologies and whatnots, and really put a new take on them into his games. For those of you who've seen the recent imagery from Reincarnation, you may have picked up on what I'm talking about, but he's taking it in a direction where we're finally starting to see something change in the trajectory of humanity, and that's the story of Reincarnation.
Man,
so
that's awesome.
That's something that piques your interest.
I really appreciate your perspective there, because obviously I've played the story and really like it, but for me, because it's been so, and by the way, I'm coming from more like, I love Square Enix gacha, like high graphics gacha games, and I saw Nier Reincarnation come out and I was like, this game looks incredible. Started playing it and loved it, and the story, of course, it has come for us in these installments that have been separated by months, and sometimes I lose that continuity. And also, not having played the mainline titles myself, I can't quite tie it in like you. So that like, yeah, gets me even more interested and excited for this final chapter coming up. Now,
oh yeah,
these gacha games are crazy. Like, they're a lot of work and investments. So it can be a bummer, the thought of doing all that work for a game that's like just about to end. But why do you think it might be worth someone that's, at least interested in the story to start playing right now and experience this while they can?
Okay. All right. I'll make a pitch for you guys. Two of my favorite games of all time, and there are a lot of games that I absolutely love that I play, but two of my favorite games of all time that absolutely hooked me, and I played until from beginning to end without basically stopping. One of them, the first one, was probably Metal Gear Solid 1. I played that game, I picked it up and played it all the way till the end without stopping, basically. That game blew me away. And another game was Uncharted 2. And those games were games I was able to pick up, and actually those games had enough replayability for me that I played through them multiple times because they were short enough. Now let's take that to the other side of the spectrum. Most RPGs that I've ever played, I've only played once, maybe twice. And Nier Reincarnation is an RPG. And so for those of you who may be thinking, well, this is a live service game and it's going to end at some point, well, there's a few things that we've got cutting in our favor. First of all, our own human nature. We only usually pick up these things and play them once. So if you think of it instead, this isn't, not in terms of this being a live service game, but this is a legitimate entry into Nier canon, and I'm going to play it, I'm going to get something from it, and then there's going to be resources online that if I ever get vague on some of the details I could reference back to, which there are, by the way. Nier Rain Guide is going to be that resource moving forward. So all the information from the game is going to be there, but it's not going to give you that experience for playing it yourself. You're going to play this game once, you're going to walk away from it, and you're going to feel every bit as satisfied with that as you will with any other game you've ever picked up, really enjoyed, but only played once. And you're going to be getting something lore-wise, and if you're not a Nier junkie or a Yoko Taro head, you're still going to be getting a absolutely peak, top-notch mobile gaming experience that really I haven't seen replicated in a whole lot of other spaces.
Yeah, and I think, with all the opportunities to get like top-tier units and everything that I outlined before, that, it's going to be really fun to kind of plow through the content, but at the same time, it's not like someone starting now needs to obsess over memoir grinding the same way we did over these years. You know what I mean? It's going to be kind of like a short-lived experience, and I think there are enough goodies coming that someone could enjoy it. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say that what they're doing is they're basically opening up the whole game for us in these closing months, and they're giving us access to, especially the currency in the game is gems. So if you are just starting from scratch and you're picking up the story beats as you go, you're going to be picking up a lot of the in-game premium currency that you use to make the summons. So anybody who's familiar with mobile gaming will know that there's going to be a premium currency. That's how you pick up your power, things like that, and so on and so forth. But because they've opened up basically the whole game in terms of characters and weapons for us, and they're giving us very generous amounts of the premium currency, they're basically enabling anyone who just picks up the game. In a sense, there's never been a better time to start the game. That's what they're trying to do. They're saying, we've got 3 months, let's go out with a bang, and let's have a good time doing it. And so, yeah, if you want that fix, you want that gotcha fix, but you want something good to go along with it, like really good, then this is great. If you're just here for the story, then pick up a few characters that you need, complete the story, enjoy it, and move on with your life. So basically, there's really something here for everybody.
Cool. All right. Well, that was all I wanted to cover in this. Do you have any other final thoughts?
Hope I don't choke on my teeth. Final thoughts. Outside of just how much I appreciate you, man. You've really, you're a big part of what pushed me along in my own journey here on YouTube, and I appreciate the call. I mean, this is nice. This is fun.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
I'm grateful for the game. Grateful for the community. So.
Yeah, the Reincarnation community has been really cool, and especially like when you and I started, like it's been. Actually, this month is going to be my 2-year anniversary covering this game and doing my face reveal. So that's pretty crazy.
Cool.
And then you were just right behind me.
I think I'm at 16 months. I'd have to check that. Maybe it's a little bit more than that, but maybe 18 months. I'm a little behind you.
Yeah, you were just right behind me, and then there was Young Jesus, and we kind of all became friends, and that's a really cool thing, you know? Cool. So yeah, let's wrap it up there. So yeah, as you can see, like it's fine to start playing. You can get through the story. There's going to be tons in game. Ziggy and I, we recommend it for sure. And you can sub to Ziggy with the link there. And I'll also link Nier Rian Guide, which Ziggy mentioned earlier. And also, for any of you joining the game, you're welcome to join my Discord. I'll leave an invite link for that. And, you know, there's plenty of people there to help. You can share screenshots of what's happening. And yeah, my community is very helpful. And yep, that's going to be it for this one. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.